How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the Positive Mindset Podcast, where we work together to raise our vibration, lift our perspective, and build a positive mindset. My name is Henry, and in this episode, we're going to talk about how to actually have a positive mindset. If you were someone that's tried the therapy, have tried the books, the studies, the movies, the music, and it seems like you just can't make a permanent change, this is going to be the episode for you, because we're going to talk about how to actually achieve a different mindset so you can experience a life as you desire. But before we get started, we're going to take a few moments to slow down, zero in. We're going to take some deep, healing, meditative breaths to help us align on the frequency that we want in our lives. So you can pick a word. It can be love, joy, happiness, abundance, whatever frequency you want. And we're going to take a deep breath in, and as you're breathing in, you're going to say that word over and over and over again. Really charge yourself up with that energy. And as you're holding your breath, visualize yourself doing something in that frequency. And once you exhale, anything that no longer resonates with you will leave you, and you'll be in a more positive state. So let's go ahead and take a deep breath in. And out. We're going to take another deep breath. This one is about alignment, about getting ourselves in receiving mode so that we can receive the message that we need to hear to get us in that positive perspective. So just imagine that you are surrounded by the most healing, uplifting energy that's meant specifically for you. It could have a certain color, a certain taste, a certain smell, however you imagine it. And when you breathe it in, it's going to charge you up. It's going to break down the negativity, the blocks, the weight, everything that's just been holding you back. And then once you exhale, anything that no longer resonates with you will leave you, and you'll be in a more positive state. So let's go ahead and take another deep breath in. And out. So I was thinking about this lesson. How do we truly change? How do we truly become something? I know so many people that have listened to this podcast and either left a comment or reached out to me personally and talked about how therapy hasn't helped, how self-classes haven't worked, the masterminds. It seems like none of those things seem to help them make a change. And I started thinking about why that is. And so I had this illustration pop into my mind, and I wanted to share it because it might make you understand where you're at and what you can do to make a shift. So I was at the gym earlier today, and I was doing my workout, and I was thinking about this exact thing. What do we do? How do we really shift? Because I want to help people. I don't just want to make money doing this. I want people to really achieve their highest self, because I believe in the long run, it makes the whole world better, which will make my experience better. And so how do we do that? And so I thought about this person. I had this vision come into my mind, and think about yourself doing this. I had this vision of somebody coming into the gym to exercise. They're coming into the gym, and there's these couches in the gym, which a lot of big gyms do have that, like a little relaxation center or a place to sit or get stuff ready for your workout. And I just imagine this person coming in, sitting down, opening up this book. And this book has every workout in it. It tells you how to work out. It has images. It has case studies. It has results that you can expect. It has everything in it. And so this person, or ourselves as we imagine it, is sitting there, reads this book for a good hour, really starts understanding the workouts, really starts getting an idea of what they can do. They start really building up this plan within their head. But the hour has gone by, and they only had an hour to work out. So they pack up the book, they put it in their bag, and they leave. How different is this and how you're currently living your life? Whether it's this podcast, or you're currently going to therapy, or you're doing things to change, to shift, to be a different version of yourself, how much learning are you doing versus action? We live in a physical experience. Action whatever that may be. It could be thoughts, like putting your thoughts to the test in a difficult situation. It could be physically doing something, whatever it is. Are you doing that in alignment with the teachings that you're studying? Are you truly putting yourself in the test? Because this whole earth experience, this life, is one big gym session. So if you don't actually do the work consistently, you won't change. Because it's not about knowing the answer. It's not about knowing the process. It's about actually doing it so you can feel it. When you feel it, you can truly bring it within you and create that as your reality. When you're exercising, think about this. When you're lifting weights, and I'm going to use weightlifting as an example because that's something I do, and you're going to do a bench press. That's where you lay on your back and you push the weight up in the air. And say you can bench press 100 pounds. You've worked your way up. You're going to go for this 100-pound. It's your max. And you do this press. You push as hard as you can, and you bench press 100 pounds one time. For that brief second, that brief moment in time, you are operating as somebody that can bench press 100 pounds. But if that was your true max, your true limit, once you re-rack it and you rest a little bit, you probably won't be able to do it again because you used everything within you to get up there. Now the next day, if you come back and you only bench press 50 pounds, you can do 50 pounds for a lot of reps. You can do it easily because you can do twice that weight. Expanding our energy is no different than expanding our strength. We have to spend time in the frequency that we're trying to become. The further we push ourselves, the more we can transcend and move through other frequencies. So once you start hitting 200 pounds on that bench press, you can easily stay within the 100-pound frequency. Just like changing your mindset. The more you spend time in positive energy, the easier you can shift to it. The more difficult situation you're in and your ability to find the positive in that difficult situation will resonate because when you're out of the situation, with what frequency you easily operate in. If you go back to the previous episode, the episode from yesterday, and really listen to it, we talked about perspective, how perspective sets you free, how you use gratitude mixed with perspective to bring the energy within you. Well, the action of that is just like this exercise. When you listen to these podcasts, you have to start doing this stuff throughout the day. When you go to your therapist and they're giving you advice, you have to actually use it throughout the day. The more time you spend in the extension, like the furthest you can go in that lesson, the further you expand yourself. You're not going to be able to do 100 pounds every single time when you just learned how to do it. That's going to be your max potential. Over time, you'll be able to do more and more and more, and eventually that 100 will be easy. So eventually, the more you practice being positive in difficult situations, when just a regular thing happens that would normally offset you and ruin your day, you will stay consistently positive. Because you've put yourself, because of the Earth School or decisions that you've made, you've put yourself in hard places and practice positivity. That's how you do it. An example would be, imagine you don't like doing dishes. That may not be that hard to imagine. You may not enjoy doing dishes. I certainly do not like doing them. But you start doing the dishes. As you're doing them, that's where you practice perspective and that's where you use gratitude. So think of a different situation while you're doing the dishes. Something that you're thankful for. Something that makes you happy. And then in your mind, spend time in the movement of that vision in your mind. Maybe it was playing with the kids earlier the day. Maybe it was getting away from the kids and going for a ride to the grocery store where you're alone and you had the windows down, your favorite music playing, and you were just feeling the breeze, you were feeling the vibe from the song, and you felt good. You connect with that, you spend time in that. While you're doing something you don't like, you're telling the universe and yourself that you dictate the energy that you desire, that you control how you want to feel internally. It's not about controlling the external world. Your external state is a reflection of your internal state. What that means is, it doesn't mean that the external world is actually what your internal world is. The external world is everything all at once. What we see resonates with the frequency that's within us. So if you level up and raise your internal state, you will see the good in the world. That was always there. You just couldn't see it. Think about those puzzles, those Where's Waldo puzzles. Where you're looking all over and you're trying to find Waldo on it. It seems impossible to find. Once you find Waldo though, you can't redo that page because you know where Waldo is, so it's easy to see it. That's how this experience is. The frequency within will give you the vision externally. When you go through difficult things and you practice bringing the positive energy within you that you desire, you are practicing your ability to raise your frequency despite what is going on externally. So don't be the person that goes to the gym, the person that lives this experience and only studies. You have to put it into action. We have to have both. Studying is great. It's how you find the path. It's how you get the ideas. It's how you get the vision of what you're trying to create. But then you have to go and do. Because if you do, then you become. And if you become, then you get to reap the reward of the energy that you were trying to experience. That's how we do it. That's how we heal. That's how we grow. And that's how we become the rising tide that lifts all ships. Thank you so much for listening. I hope this episode was impactful and gave you a positive perspective on what you can do to truly start making changes in your life. If you want to make sure you don't miss a single episode, make sure you subscribe to my email list. There's a link in the description. It will keep you up to date with every single episode. And if you want to follow me on social media, there's my Instagram and TikTok down below. There's also a link to the Positive Mindset Facebook community. We're doing lives on Mondays and Thursdays. So if you want to join that group, go ahead and click the link. It's a lot of fun. We're just kind of figuring it out and trying to grow together. Well, thank you so much for listening. Have a great day, and I can't wait to talk to you next time.